So when we close our eyes is an opportunity to greet ourselves with kindness, like meeting an old friend that we haven't seen for a long time. Maybe we can put a smile on our face and just see, experiment. If you put a smile on your face, how does it make that inner world of yours feel? There's actually a lot of studies that people faking a smile, not knowing they're smiling, like putting a pencil in their mouth like this, and all they perceived neutral faces as happy. And there are other experiments too, depending on the face, the facial expression you have. If you purposely force it, you interpret and perceive different neutral events or stimuli in the way that the face corresponds. So there's a lot of back and forth interaction between our body and our mind and the way we perceive the world. So you can try just putting a smile on your face, relaxing your body, being kind, having an attitude of kindness towards yourself, and notice how perhaps it can make your mind feel more at ease and safe or relaxed, like you don't have to do something, figure anything out, live up to any expectations. You're not on work. Even the meditation, there's nothing for you to, the manager of you, to do. It's just about being. And the quote unquote effort is effort to be aware and making sure we don't butt in. So I once gave the simile of, so Ajahn Brahma, I learned meditation from him, and he gave this simile that he was on Air Asia, and there was in those pamphlets in front of the seat, a cartoon, the airplane of the future. And how does the airplane of the future look like? There was one pilot and one dog, but it was a self-driving, one of those like Tesla airplanes, self-driving airplane, automated. So what was the job of the pilot? The job of the pilot was to feed the dog. And what was the job of the dog? To nip at the pilot if it tries to interfere. So that's kind of like the meditation. It's the process of settling. And we don't do it with our inner manager, ego, that feeling of me, that feeling of you. Joanne, John, Vicky, Julie, Amanda, Alana. It's not you who do the meditation. And we set up our mindfulness like that dog. But we don't nip with negativity or criticism, like, there you go again, you got lost in track of thought, or anything like that. It's just, okay, when you're aware, then you're aware. It's with this kindness, clarity. As soon as you notice you were lost in thought, then you're aware again. And that's all there is to it. No story or drama or anything about that. It's just recognition. And the whole settling and deepening of the meditation process is just that recognition, becoming familiar and comfortable with inner silence till you rest and become at ease. And then the mind kind of releases into a more peaceful state. It's like quantum shifts, like the electrons, around we learned in grade school or high school, was it? They jump not quantum, but like these valence, I forget what it's called, but there's like this whoosh, this release, and it's just through stillness. And our object of meditation just helps us know if we're being present so that we can catch ourselves or know if you're present or lost in thought. As we're starting, it's easy to be aware of your whole body. Maybe when you first start, to recognize how are you today. You closed your eyes and you can check in with yourself and just know. Is there tiredness? Is there agitation? Is there some tension, hunger? Whatever state there is, we're practicing knowing without commentary, knowing without butting in, knowing without saying anything about it. It's just knowing. And with this process, we're not feeding that movement of the mind. Because as soon as we comment on what we're experiencing, that's feeding more mental movement. So we unplug, we pull the rug under it. And as the mind gets subtler and subtler, we notice in more subtler ways how we interfere. Noticing, so the first, when we close our eyes, we greet our mind with a smile, kindness, check in how our body is, how our mind is. Is our mind lax? Is it restless? Is it tired? Just knowing how you are. And sometimes it's useful taking a smooth inhalation and smooth exhalation just to activate that relaxation response in case there is a bit. So at your own comfortable pace, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 deliberate breaths, let's say 5. And deep exhalation. After you've done 5, allow your breathing to be natural. Your body knows how to breathe. And notice if perhaps your mind and body are a little bit more relaxed. And we'll allow our mindfulness to develop, to strengthen, by scanning our attention through our body. Noticing your toes, if any sensations in your toes, how your toes feel. This listening with kindness. Maybe your toes in contact with your shoe. Under the ball. And under the arch. Listening the sensations in the heel. Going up our ankles. Inclining the mind to appreciating simplicity, more stillness of the mind, less mental stuff, like the settling of the mind, settling of activities is nice, it's peaceful. Notice that, and by noticing that, it allows contentment to grow and deepen. And in that background, in that mindfulness, you're not just aware of your body, but also it's how you're aware. There's also contentment there, which is like the glue that allows the mind to stay present. Because it's nice, it's superior. This contentment. And then that contentment deepens. So it's easy to stay present. And this doesn't happen through force. It's changing perceptions. We're changing perceptions rather than delighting in activities and doing and being a mouse on a treadmill. We're delighting in stopping. So we need to notice so that mindfulness recognizes. And it's each of our own, that wisdom that recognizes within. Yeah, this feels better, it feels healthier, like a mental well-being, wellness, not being all over the place. It's giving your mind the opportunity to recognize. As we go up the calves, noticing the sensations in our calves and allowing the calves to relax, the knees, being aware of your thighs, perhaps in contact with the seat or cushion or chair. And patience is very important. It's all through patience, because the mind changes and develops through this practice, slowly, slowly, gradually. It's patience. Maybe being aware of your bum on the seat, noticing, listening to those sensations. Going up the spine, your hips, listening to how those sensations in your hips feel. And remembering, valuing that inner silence, listening without commentary. So the mind recognizes and appreciates. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Being aware of the tummy, and the lawnmower. Noticing also if the mind automatically reacted. And if it did, we can just recognize the mind, that's what the mind does. But we don't feed it with a conversation or arguing with our mind. We give up that. It's endless. Our mind is like Teflon. Nothing that the mind says is worth having a conversation with for this period that we're sitting in meditation for the purpose of letting go. So going up the spine, the chest, and in the sound, let there just be the sound. It's just sound. Because we have ears, there's sound, and that's that. Going up the chest, the shoulders, being aware of our arms, elbows, front of our arms and wrists, noticing how our whole body feels different. And with this kind awareness, our body relaxes. Our wrists, the palm, going through each finger. The thumb, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and even the hands, don't they feel very different, the sensations? And we can give up, raise that white flag. You give up this moment wanting to be any different. Someone once said, suffering is wanting this moment to be different. And it is just the way it is. And it's the ego's job to comment, have any sense of righteousness or, and thinking fuels the sense of self as well. So we just allow this moment to be. Surrender. Being aware of our neck and the jaw. Allowing the jaw to release. And the cheeks. Around the eyes. And notice your forehead. Allow your forehead to relax. In that same attitude, allow your whole head and brain, all the activity to relax, release. Noticing that inner silence in your mind, appreciating it. And perhaps notice when you're silent in your mind, what you're aware of. Could be the birds chirping. Maybe you're breathing. Notice your breathing, how you're breathing, allowing the breathing to be natural and just knowing if you're breathing in and knowing if you're breathing out. You're mindful along with the breathing, like walking hand in hand with the breathing, allowing it to relax you. If you want to say a word along with the breathing, you can as a stepping stone. Like if there are thoughts in your mind, you can replace them with one word, such as breathing in peace, breathing out relax. Allow the breathing to be natural, or you can count to 10, like breathing in 1, breathing out 1, breathing in 2, breathing out 2, all the way to 10, and then back to 1. That gives more of an anchor, gives that sense of me, something to hold on to. But when that is too much, you can even let go of that and just be aware of the breathing. Having confidence, courage to give this a go. Remembering it's the attitude that's most important. It's how you're aware. And you're aware gently, with kindness. If you've seen anyone play the guitar or an instrument, it's gently, not too tight, not too loose. Like holding a bird, not too firmly and not too loose. Those are actually similes given by the Buddha to people who wanted to learn how to meditate, who were looking for advice. So that has worked for many people in the past 2,600 years. So notice that quality of your awareness, because that's where the things that obstruct the meditation, you might hear hindrances, that's where they lie. It's how you're aware. Make sure you let go. It's not with any craving, or it's gentle. And allow this process, have a sense of curiosity and interest, how your mind changes through this process of mindfulness, of breathing. Or you can scan the body if you prefer. You know what's best for you. No one else does. Remember to give in. Quiet any inner commentary, any inner chatter. It's not needed. Don't disturb any inner peace, because that deepens and grows by itself. Remembering to be present, letting go of the interest in any activity of the mind. It's none of your business to have a conversation in the mind. And the thoughts aren't even your business to stop. You don't stop the thinking. It's not you who stops the thinking. It's by giving up control over it. It's not yours to do anything about. Just leave it alone. Like the lawnmower and the birds, they're part of nature. You don't make them go away. You don't keep them going. They're part of nature. And then eventually, like you probably didn't notice the birds only when I mentioned them, but they were always there, but you were not aware of them. In the same way, when you don't give interest to your thoughts, they're not yours to get rid of, then by not feeding them, they fade away. It's like a fire. If you stop feeding the fire burns out. It's gone. And our job is to stay present and aware of the moment. And all we have is the breathing. If you prefer, if the mind needs to do the body scan, if it's easier, then by all means continue that. And then once the mind is more subtle and calm, and awareness of the body becomes too coarse, you can move on to being aware of the breathing. When you relax with the breathing, it's actually quite delightful. Just relax with it, knowing you're breathing in, knowing you're breathing out. The softness in your heart. Put down any guards. Soften your heart to this moment. Nothing else in the whole wide world except your breathing. Being patient, making sure that the mindfulness notices and appreciates stillness. We're choosing to enjoy a state of calm. Mindfulness needs to notice, recognize how calm feels like. Taste it. Become familiar with it. And then hang out. And when you hang out in calm and being aware of the breathing, you make sure you're not wanting anything. Not wanting this moment to be any different. We give up all wanting. And we're content. And having courage and confidence that there's more to consciousness and the nature of the mind than just this experience. Through stillness, the mind changes and opens up like a lotus petal with the sunshine of our awareness and kindness, patience. The outer petals open up and reveal more subtler, delicate petals. And this process of the petals opening up is a natural process. It happens by itself. Coming close to the end of this sit, I'll wrap it up a little bit earlier in case it's chilly for some. Coming closer to the end, notice how your mind feels and spending some moments appreciating and delighting in like the yumminess of your mind that feels perhaps more release. The releasing and letting go happens all by itself through this process of stillness, or through stillness. Like parts of what is normally there vanish. And the vanishing of this gives rise to a sense of relief. Like you feel, this feels good, it's better, it's nice. And it's precisely giving your mind the opportunity to notice it. It's this that teaches, or that how wisdom, or how the mind then doesn't pick up thoughts, or doesn't, or how it lets go. So it's not you who let go, it's the mind, like the mindfulness lets go, because it doesn't want to hold on to like coarse things like shit. You know, why soil the mind with being upset or wanting or conversations in the mind when it could just relax and enjoy inner peace? And it's a gradual process. Like when we don't have to think, we don't. But obviously, when we do, then the mind is clearer and more powerful because it knows what it's doing, and it's clear. Make sure at the end of the sit to give yourself the opportunity to linger and enjoy any release and relief, any stillness and peace. And recognize what happened, like how this happened. By not being interested in mental activity, you don't feed them and they vanish. And the vanishing is nice. It's like more mental well-being. You learn about the nature of your mind, not through thought, but through experience. And at the end, you can notice also, we started the sit by arousing some kindness in our heart towards yourself, you know, your mind and body. Notice how bringing up this kindness, acceptance, wishing yourself and all beings well, makes the mind softer and more pleasant to be with. Like it softens the mind. It's easier to be present and in the moment. And pretend being like a sunshine, radiating all this kindness all around. Up to the sky, down to the ground, all around to everybody here in Richmond. And why? This is an experiment. How does it feel when you do this? The mind perhaps would be easier to live with ourselves when our mind is imbued with some softness, some kindness. It's easier to be still when there's some softness and kindness in our heart. And it's a practice. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes.